Welcome back to the Coast to Coast Catch Up. My name is Cannon Griner, along with my co host Abe Elmore. We're two childhood friends who grew up together, chased sports dreams, and now live in opposite sides of the country. We created this podcast to catch up, unpack real life, and share the ride with you. From deep conversations to lessons we're still learning, laughs to life pivots. It's the kind of catch up everyone needs. Well, Abe, it's been a while since we've actually caught up. We've been busy with life, we've been interviewing some other people. Those are starting to come out, so super excited about that. But we haven't really had the time to do what we initially set out to do and just catch up the two of us. So, what has been going up this last month, this month of January?
Yeah, I do want to start with people think I know everything about you because we have a podcast together. And so, friends and family will come up to be like, hey, what's Ken doing for this? Or what's Ken doing for his wedding? Or what's this and that? And I'm like, I don't know. Like we do a good job of trying to keep the contents of our lives away from each other for times like this. But yeah, January, it has ended at the time of this recording. But yeah, we have not talked in depth about stuff. But started off, man, I started off not at the Grinder's house, which was a little bit of a bummer, but I did get to hang out with the parents for New Year's, which pumped about that. Always loved that. And almost immediately, I went up to Idaho to go hang out with my dad and borrow his extra car. So I don't have to buy a car yet, which I'm super thankful for. Thank you, Dad. You're the best. But also amongst that trip, I went up there and just try to snowboard. I said try. We did snowboard, but the snow was pretty mediocre. But how fun and cool was it to? I was still unemployed at this time to go up there on a Monday. Do something I've never done before. I flew in Monday. My dad picked me up at the airport. We went to basically to the nearest hill to go snowboard immediately out of the plane, which was probably 30 or 40 minutes away from the airport. So that was awesome. I mean, it was cool to, pack your bags and get ready for. It was a quick trip for me. I think I was up in Idaho for like 4 or 5 days, but to pack everything with the idea of, hey, I'm going to go snowboarding like an hour after I land, basically. And we did. And it was on a Monday. There was no one up there. Again, the snow was pretty mid, but to go up there and actually that was the first place I've ever snowboarded at my entire life. So I don't know how old I was. I was probably like 10, but to go back up there and be like, oh, I remember this and I remember that. And then also go and venture off and do new things. And again, just ski with my dad. It was my third time skiing with my dad. He took a 30-year hiatus in skiing, so he's back into it now. And it was awesome. It was awesome. And so we did that one day. And then the next day, we skied again, and we skied with my dad's uncle and my dad's cousin and his girlfriend. So we had a big group of us ski another hill, which I've heard so many good things about, and did that the next day as well. And it was a blast. I mean, I think skiing's a lot like golf for me, where it's just good to get out. And if you tell yourself, hey, it's not going to be good snow, and you're just kind of there for the company and the vibe and the experience, then, you're always going to have a good time. So that was awesome. I was unemployed. I went skiing during the week in Idaho, and it was a lot different than Snowball and Sunrise, because you always go up there in the weekend, usually right after snow. It's super packed. And yeah, I felt like I had the whole mountain to myself, which, again, I'm trying to compare it to golf. When you have the whole golf course to yourself, it's such a fun feeling. Equally, if not cooler, to have basically the whole mountain to yourself as well. So that's kind of how I started off 2026. It was pretty sick. I mean, I couldn't really ask for better.
That's
obviously
awesome.
Snow, but yeah, man. How did you start it off?
No, that's awesome. Kind of good. You had a full circle moment with your dad. I know your dad's been out of the game for a while, so that's cool. But I just wanted to touch on the no snow with it up in Idaho, which is, I think, pretty rare. It hasn't snowed here once. I know my sister's up in Indiana. She's saying that it snowed like 12 inches or something the other day. So it's been really weird winter up here with no snow. I feel like everywhere other than Arizona should have snow during this year. Like I grew up in Arizona, and everywhere else should have snow in the winter.
I'm not a claimed meteorologist, but it's like an El Nino year or something like that. And so which means basically we don't get a lot of rain, not a lot of precip as they call it up in those necks of the woods. But yeah, I mean the whole West, I know Utah, Colorado, Idaho, has just been pretty bland, pretty bad, which is terrible to see because I always want, those whole ski towns are really relying on weather, which sucks that we've had bad weather. But I know Canada got really good weather in the beginning of the year. They got dumped on, but not Idaho. And so it sucks. I know everyone's complained about it. My dad certainly complained about it. I also want to point out that he did go on a 30-year hiatus, but he's also still a really, really good skier. He's better than me. He's faster than me. And I would never tell it to his face, but it does suck when you're his son and he's a lot faster than you. But yeah, it just kind of stinks. But at the same time, they push enough of it on the runs. And so you find good snow where you can.
For sure. Precip, huh? I don't know about that one.
First time I heard it was up there with my cousin Tony. He said, "Oh, we're getting some precip, in 10 days." And I was just like, "You're 50 years old, man. You can't be saying precip." That's a young kid.
If you say precip around me, you're getting clowned for sure.
Good thing I'm over the screen. You can't clown me. But yeah, what a wild word. Anyway, keep going.
Yeah. This month didn't have a ton happen. We went down to Mexico to test out the wedding venue. Not that we were going to change it or anything, but just to see it in person and kind of hang out with Alyssa and hang out with her parents. And so that was super fun. It's going to be a great time down there. I can tell you that. Yeah, just super excited about that, and kind of just gets that slow bubble of excitement coming. Yeah, dude, it's going to be great. Everybody has a balcony facing the sea. I didn't expect that. I just thought it'd be a normal hotel where there's going to be sides on both sides, but no, everything is facing the ocean. Pools, unlimited drinks, ocean. There's a bunch of iguanas and stuff, so free food. Can't go wrong, right? It'll be a blast. Definitely enjoyed that. Go ahead.
A lot of things I do have written down. Make sure you watch Alyssa's vlog, because I watched the first 2 seconds right before I came on this. But after initial thoughts, right? What do you like? Are you happy with it? This is the first time you've seen it, obviously. Are you happy with it? Are you upset with it? You said you did a practice run. Did you walk down? To have Alyssa walk down the aisle? What exactly happened? And how does it's got to make you more excited?
Yeah, definitely makes me more excited. We just did a weekend trip, or I guess an extended weekend trip. Flew down there, got there Friday night, just ate dinner. There's 4 or 5 restaurants there, and so you pick what restaurant you want to go to. We went to the Mexican restaurant, when in Mexico, you go to the Mexican restaurant. But they have Mexican, Italian, Asian. I don't know. Maybe they only have 3 restaurants. But went to the Mexican one. It was good. Good food. Buffet serving. They had a Mexican dance show or something, and wasn't too impressed by the dance show, but that's all right. It was something to do. It was great. Enjoyed it. They had a stage and stuff. And the next day we just kind of hung out by the pool, had some drinks. And while we were down there, we also had to do some wedding planning. So we decided where the aisle would be. We didn't necessarily walk down the aisle, but we picked the location of, where the ceremony will be. So it'll be a nice, sure, altar. I don't know wedding terms. I
don't know either.
I'm hoping I'll learn at some point, but today's not that day. Maybe I'm not hoping. If I actually cared what the words are, I would probably know by now. And I know that bugs Alyssa, so maybe I should work on that. Yes, let's go with ceremony. We picked where the ceremony will be. We picked what chairs people will be, a bunch of stuff that doesn't necessarily matter. Nobody's going to remember, but some people make a big deal out of. And I'm not saying Alyssa does. She doesn't at all. She's actually been very very chill about everything, but didn't really care. She wanted the wedding on a beach, so we're doing it on the beach in Mexico, and it's been great. She's been fantastic, and yeah, it's been really fun. So yeah, made some decisions on some things that don't necessarily matter, like the chairs, the tables, things people won't notice. Silverware, it's like, do you want to pay more for golden silverware? It's like, no, I just nobody's gonna notice that. I'm not gonna notice that unless we pay for it. Then I'll notice it and be like, why the heck did we pay for that? So yeah, did all that. That was fun. Tested everything for the food and all that, and it's at an all you can eat. So it's like I'm not too worried about what we're eating at the wedding. Like eat before if you don't like the food, or it's one meal. You'll be fine. Um, have a drink instead. So yeah, it was super fun. Just hung out with their parents, and it's funny traveling with other people because you've obviously traveled with my parents. You know how we operate, and I've obviously traveled with my parents and know how they operate. And growing up, that's all I knew, right? Like my parents are the type of people. As soon as we land, my dad's like, "All right, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. We got to get out of the house. I saw something down the road. I want to walk to it. I want to run. You want to go with me?" And it's like, "Yeah, let's go, let's go, let's go." And so, my mom is like, I would say growing up, I would say my mom is not like that. Like she's like, okay, we're not in a rush. Like we'll go do stuff in a sec. Just let's unpack our bags and stuff. And so growing up, I didn't think my mom was like that either. But now seeing, other families, or going with Alyssa's family, is like, no, both my parents are definitely like, go, 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 do as much as you can, get as much into the vacation as you can. And if you come home and you're not tired, you vacationed wrong. Like you should have been exploring and seeing as much as you can. And so it's funny going to vacation with other people, Alyssa's parents, who are like, oh, let's relax, sit by the beach, or sit on the beach, read a book. It's like, I'm so wired to like, let's go, we got to do something. And they're just like, I just want to hang out. And so it's fun to experience new things, and experience a new pace, and kind of figure out, what do I like? Like, do I want to be the person that is go, 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 or sit around? And yeah.
I, your parents are adventurers, and they're not vacationers. Your mom's also more of a planner than your dad. Your dad's like, see fish, go fish. Your mom is like, I want to do this, let's plan it out. And I would say that's kind of the contrast between them that I've seen, right? I'm not an expert grinder traveler, but that's what I've seen. But yeah, man, I think both are good. I lean more towards especially if I'm in a place that's cool, hopefully. I do want to go see everything. But at the same time, you are on vacation. You should probably kick your feet up. So there's got to be a little bit of mix. Maybe one trip is go, 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 and the next one is, hey, I'm gonna sit my hiney in the pool with a margarita for the entire weekend. But
for sure, I'd say it really helps if you have a longer, like an extended time, because you can kind of get you can get that go, go, go out, and then it's like, all right, I'm pretty tired from going. Let's relax, and then it comes, is kind of the balance I've come to find with it. But you're totally right. There is a bit of both.
Yeah, and I love that. I think everyone's vacation should be more than a weekend, right? Because I think you do want to see everything, and then I love the kickback and after it, and then talk, and if you missed anything, you talk about it. It comes up and say, hey, let's go do that after we relax. But I do want to go back to your wedding. Just one quick thing: is the dance floor going to be big enough?
Yeah, that was another thing we're looking at. You have to actually pay for the dance floor, and like the wedding is going to be on grass, and so we're debating. It's still under debate whether we want to pay for just wood over the grass. Alyssa made a good point where it's like it gives some people an avenue, like, this is where you dance, like, come on the dance floor, where it's like, if it's grass or like open space, people are dancing in the corner or whatever, and it's like, no, like, you kind of want people around. So I don't know, we'll see what we end up deciding, but I understand both, whether it be have more space, or just kind of one deliberate space to dance. So
yeah, I think I do agree with you. Probably before Alyssa made that good point. but I think you would just dance next to the person that's dancing. And I think as long as you get one or two people dancing in whatever grass section, I think that'll become the floor. But yeah, man, I don't have to plan a wedding, and I'm glad I don't. But I've just been more stoked to, go to your wedding. I get the class. I'll get a call from Mason or someone and be talking to him, catching up with him, and then I'm like, oh man, I can't wait to see you in August. And Mason's like, no, I'm seeing you in, can't wait to see you in April. And I was like, you're right. I'm seeing you way sooner than I think at Cannon's wedding, and that's coming up. So couldn't be more excited. It's been paid for, and so the bad part's over for me. The good part's only to come, and that's a blast. But so excited, and how nice of it was to get out into Mexico. And I'm sure Seattle's been pretty cold. And dude, look, freaking Seattle's in the Super Bowl. I know. I mean, they won the NFC Championship. The freaking Marlins did great, or not the Marlins. The Mariners did great, and now Seattle's in the Super Bowl. That's awesome. I would say you had something to do with that moving up there, but how lucky are you? And also, you got to feel the buzz. I'm sure that's got to be around right now.
Definitely. Well, everybody, go back, watch our New Year's goals. You'll see that I correctly predicted the Patriots to beat the Broncos to go to the Super Bowl. And I also predicted the Seahawks to beat the 49ers, which they did beat the 49ers, but not in the NFC Championship game. The playoffs weren't even out yet, so I didn't know the bracket. But had the Seahawks beating the Patriots in the Super Bowl. That hasn't happened yet. Super Bowl hasn't been played, so it has to be played Sunday. But we'll see if they run the ball with 26 seconds left from the 2 and if they win or not.
Where are you planning on watching that? I mean, I feel me giving you advice. I feel like I want to go to some dive bar in Seattle to watch this. I mean, and just get the basking emotions of it. Or are you guys going to watch it at home?
No, you're probably right. We probably should go somewhere. I'll have to talk to Alyssa and the roommates about that. But you're probably right. We should get out of the house and feel the energy of the city while we're in it. Yeah, that would be fun. That's a great question. I'll get that one answered for you. But yeah definitely looking forward to it. Everybody at work's talking about it like, oh, you're a Seahawks fan, right? I'm like, no, but I will be.
For the next week I am.
Yeah, so it's been fun. It's been a fun buzz. The Mariners were fun. The Mariners were really fun because it was during the week. The game was going on a Wednesday, and it's like, all right, what are you doing to watch the game tonight? And so that was a fun buzz. But Seahawks have been a little more silent since they're just the weekends. But it's been a good time up here in Washington. I wish I could say I was a part of it.
Hey, you just bandwagon that thing, but just a weekend, man. But yeah. So go back to my month. I talked about the snowboarding while we were snowboarding on the gondola. My dad was like, "Hey, are you excited to drive back to Arizona?" Since I was borrowing his car, and I was like, "No, not really." And I was like, "Should I be excited to drive back? Like, it's winter time. There's not a lot of snow on the ground. It's 20 something hours. Like, I really just want to get down there." And boy, was I wrong. I drove. I went straight east into Montana, then south through Montana, hit Pocatello, basically drove right in between at one point Yellowstone and I believe the Sawtooth Mountains in Idaho. And I was in the middle of nowhere, and I was like, man, this is really pretty. I could see why my dad said, hey, you should be excited about this. Stayed in Salt Lake City. Got to Salt Lake City at nighttime, woke up, realized how much I loved Salt Lake City because it's so pretty there. And was like, oh, why? I really wish Jada had still lived here. This is amazing. And then I continued down through, southern Utah, which is, famous. I drove right by Bryce Canyon into Page, Horseshoe Bend, stuff like that. So that was another thing I did. And man, did I love doing that compared to driving from Minnesota and Wisconsin through Nebraska and Kansas, the eastern Colorado, get a little bit of glimpse of Colorado, and then, go down south in New Mexico. It was so much better. I enjoyed the heck out of it, and my dad was right. Again, something I would never say to his face, but he was right. I enjoyed the heck out of that. And the reason why I had to head down to Arizona so fast is because I started a brand new job. Your boy is no longer unemployed. He's making money. I know you had a prediction. I don't know if it was said on the pod or not over the notes, but I would have a job before February. In February, I had it in January. I beat that. I'm
Glad I could
Glad you
set a
can push
bar
me.
that you could beat. Yeah, make you competitive. I
Nothing-
want to go back to Salt Lake. I actually just last week I had a football team, an arena football team, reach out to me, and they're from Salt Lake, and I was like, that does
Do it.
seem like a cool place to live. Do you think you could live up in Salt Lake?
100%. 100%. I think I would argue Utah is like a top 3-4 state. I mean, and especially like that. So like, I think it's better than Denver because you have the mountains are closer. Like it's right there. I mean, you and I have both driven through that Cottonwood Canyon with Janet and Meg. It's so much closer. Then you have the Salt Lake, which I don't know what you do in the Salt Lake, but you do have the Great Salt Lake. And then even right south of that, you have another little mountain range. So you are kind of in a valley. And I think it's such a great city. It's obviously growing. I mean, they freaking took our hockey team from Arizona. And you have all 4 seasons, and it's not extreme weather like the Minnesotas. And like, look at the whole Midwest of the storm. Like, it's negative something degrees there. And Salt Lake doesn't really get that. So I think I do. I totally. If I had a job offer in Salt Lake City, I mean, I'm not gonna say I'd take it right away, but I would favor that location over Phoenix a little bit.
Really? Even after you moved home from Georgia after missing friends and all that?
No, I probably still. They'd have to be really enticing, but I do love Salt Lake. I told CJ on the drive home, I was like, hey, I'm bummed we didn't get a Supercross in Phoenix because I have ties. That's this weekend. I'm really upset about that. But let's drive to Salt Lake at the end of May and go watch that because I think that would be super fun. And it's closer. I mean, you've driven to Salt Lake before. It's like 8 hours. Like it's a day trip. You're not coming back in a day, but like you get up there in one day. And yeah, it's nicer. It's nice, obviously nicer in the summertime. And so hopefully I can convince CJ to do that amongst our extremely busy schedules with weddings and all that kind of stuff. But I'm all in on going up there to watch motocross, which would be really great. But yeah,
that'd be cool. That'd be cool. And it's probably better that Utah has a hockey team than Arizona. Like it just didn't really fit. No, it didn't really fit down here anyway. Although the Coyotes did have sick uniforms, I think.
I do want to get a retro Coyote uniform. I think I don't have a hockey jersey yet. I'm not a big jersey guy, but they are pretty sick. And I've debated with all my friends in school in Minnesota that like, hey, you know what hockey jersey should I get? And they gave me a bunch of crappy answers, and I was like, nah, bro. I think I just need to get an old school Coyote one with the guy with the Coyote with the mask. I think that's so cool. Anyway, I digress, but it's cool.
No, that is a good one. I'm sure you could put Mac on that, and he'll look out for you. He's always out thrifting and stuff.
For sure.
Yeah. Some new things with me. I've been reffing female flag football, high school girls, and that's been really fun. It's fun just to see, like, I know I've probably said it in the past, but it's fun to see like girls talking in football terms, like you got the flats or you have leverage or keep your leverage, things like that. And so it's interesting to me. I talk football to Alyssa and she right over her head. Like, and so it'll be interesting in the future, if I have a daughter or have, even a boy and he has a girlfriend, and like, it'd be interesting if they know football or, so it's an exciting time. I think that football is growing as a sport and becoming more global as well.
On the sports talk, again, I know I just said that I haven't played a lot of sports with ref, but Alec Blakeman dragged me into softball. And so I play I made fun of my friend in Minnesota for playing softball, in this league in Winona. I made fun of him partly because he's fun to make fun of and he's so good at taking it. But I am now that person that plays softball in a beer league, but it's been dry January, so that's really been confusing. But every Wednesday we play, and I told Alec, I said, hey, he's like, hey, you're playing. And I was like, dude, only if you need an extra body. Like, I haven't swung a bat since I was 12. Like, haven't had a mitt. Couldn't find my mitt. I had to go buy one. A little upset about that, but it was like $10 from playing against sports. I wasn't super upset about it, and it was actually a much better mitt than I had before. But man, do I look forward to Wednesday every week because it's so much fun. A lot of them are, I know a few of them just based off mutual friends, but yeah, it's just so fun to go out there and try to rip a softball. And it is weird throwing a softball on top of like men and women's sports. Like, never really thrown a softball ever in my entire life, and which is fun because it's bigger and it's easier to catch, at least in the air in my head. And then, but throwing it is weird. Like, I had to kind of train myself to throw it again. And but what a blast! Again,
hit any home runs yet?
Not even close, bro. Not even close.
Have you hit the ball yet?
The first game, no. For the second week, yeah. Hell yeah.
Hey,
Alec, I missed the first game because I was up in Idaho. Came back to the second game, like, just terrible batting. Like, I did fine in the outfield, which they put me in the quarter, which is fine, but like did fine. And then now I've gained some confidence. I stole a softball from somewhere, and last Tuesday before my second game, I just chucked the softball up in the air at the park, and I practiced my pop flies because that was the only way I could think I could do it. And then immediately after the game, that I had no hits at all, which I do feel ashamed saying this on here, but whatever. I suck. I'm a golfer. Alec immediately was like, hey, we're going to do batting practice on Saturday. And so we did that, which is fine. I enjoyed that. But again, it does keep my competitive juices flowing. So I play golf. I still do. I got to keep it under control. I played golf with Alec and Ryan and Tommy's firefighter fundraiser with my dad, and we had such a blast kind of bantering back and forth. But I just get little comments in the golf course. On the baseball field, I'm screaming, letting people know, hey, there's 2 outs, place at first. And I'm way in the outfield. I'm not the one that should be saying it, but I'm loud, and I love competing, I guess, and it's bringing that side out of me, and that I love. I'm the worst person on that team, but I am the juice, and I love that aspect. So yeah, I've enjoyed that. It's
nice, man,
bro. I'm bummed.
Diving back into team sports. That's good stuff.
Literally diving. I freaking slid. I did get a hit. I got a hit my second game the first week, and I slid to second base when it wasn't really needed, and it was a picture perfect slide. Didn't even hurt.
Still got it.
Still got it, bro.
Do they have jerseys for you, or do you got to wear sweatpants or jeans? Or
I've been wearing sweatpants because it does get a little chilly at night, and I also don't want to wear shorts, and I don't have any baseball pants. But we show up in whatever you want to wear, and yeah, there's teams that are there in jerseys and I don't have baseball cleats, and everyone does, but I'm just bro, I don't want to say get a life, but it's sick jerseys, bro. That's awesome. It's a bunch of 40-year-olds. That's another thing. We're a bunch of 20-year-olds playing up against a bunch of 40-year-olds, and it's dude, I've gotta beat these guys. Their kids are running around and causing a ruckus in that corner right now. I've got to beat the drums off these guys. So yeah, again, I love to see I get all my competitiveness out on Wednesdays, and so I'm really relaxed on Thursdays and Fridays. It's a blast.
Good, man. Well, tell me about this new job you got.
Yeah, I'm working for a broker of logistics. I really just took a job to take a job. Someone decided to have a lot of weddings this year, and so, but no, it's been fun. I've really leaned into it. It's been nice because it's a sales job, classic book of business. So I'm just learning everything from a broker. He's very successful, and his actually client they deal with grandstands from a lot of PGA Tour events and like other major events across the country. So it's been really cool to see, like, I do get a glimpse in the behind the scenes of how it goes from one place to another, which has been awesome. But the PGA Tour season is just kicking off, so it is a little bit slow. And with that, all that time, I have a lot of time on my hands at work, which I'm usually not a fan of. I still am not a fan of, but it did give me an opportunity to, one of my associates that's also training is teaching me how to do Rubik's Cube. And I know you did a Rubik's Cube on the way to Minnesota when we went together. And I was like, I don't want to learn that. I want to drive. I'm now learning how to do Rubik's Cube. And I think that's awesome. And I do get my fix in. I haven't bought one yet. I'm really close to. But we basically run all the simulations together at work during our downtime, which was a lot because I'm getting really close to solving a Rubik's Cube, which is awesome. It's a skill I never really thought I would get. I never really cared for it. And then now I feel like at work, and hopefully my boss doesn't see this, but like at work, there's really nothing to do except for solve this Rubik's Cube. So it's awesome. So that's how my work's going, is I'm learning how to solve Rubik's Cubes.
Nice. Getting paid to play with toys. So that's a job, dude. Nice. Fine.
Oh, how do you still know how to do Rubik's Cube? Do you know how to solve it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. How long do you think it took the inventor of the Rubik's Cube to solve his own cube?
I wouldn't be surprised if he never solved it.
What do you mean?
Like, I bet.
Well, I'm gonna let you know he created it. Like, he created the algorithm. He created it. The solution.
The dude that created.
Yeah, the dude that created
create.
Cube created the algorithm.
Okay.
What a sick guy that would be.
I'll go like 18 months.
Oh no, it's just 1 month.
That's crazy.
That's crazy, right?
I can't imagine actually like thinking while I'm doing a Rubik's Cube. Like basically to me, a Rubik's Cube is just sorting because I know all the algorithms and stuff. But
like next time you look at a Rubik's Cube and you're solving it, I want you to think about the algorithm and solving for the algorithm instead of solving the actual cube. And it would blow your mind. It's gonna blow your mind. Like, how did this guy figure out in a month?
Yeah, that's impressive. That seems very fast, actually.
I think that's really cool. I think it's so cool.
That is cool. I do not have the understanding of a Rubik's Cube like that. I just know how to memorize, I guess. Which kind of stinks. I wish I could like, I don't know. I don't know if I actually wish, because that would probably take a lot of my time to solve something I already know how to solve, and maybe half the time. But it would be cool to just be inputted that ability to solve problems like that.
Yeah, right. And again, like I don't want to say like a month isn't a long time. I'm sure this guy day and night only figured out how to use this cube and the algorithm, right? So like that is a long time, but yeah, that's why I didn't want to learn it. Is because it's just a freaking algorithm. Like, I don't want to just learn an algorithm. Like, I'd rather learn how to solve the cube. And I'm obviously not going to learn how to solve for the algorithm. I'm just going to do the algorithm. So that's why I kind of boycotted it. But man, it's been really fun, and I'm sure I'm going to be really, really upset when I master it. And I'm like, oh, this is boring. So, but yeah, it was fun. I'm learning that, and I enjoy it.
Nice.
For the time being.
Nerd.
I know.
No, they got all sorts of different cubes and all that you could spiral into if you. It's good stuff. Yeah, man. But yeah, exactly. Look it up, figure it out. Yeah. Yep.
What else you got, man? What else have you been doing this month?
This month, I have been getting back into fitness. Not that I really stopped, but I started counting my macros, which I don't know if you know what macros are, but basically,
I do.
Okay. I didn't know. You're a college athlete. I assumed you did, but golf is a little different than other sports.
Why is that?
It's just a little more walking, I don't know.
Yeah, okay.
Getting back into counting my macros though and all that. And so I found out that I was eating, I was intermittent fasting and doing all that. I found out that I was eating like 80 to 100 grams of protein less than I should be a day.
Yeah.
And probably 1,000 less calories just to maintain my weight. Maybe not 1,000, maybe 700 to 1,000 calories less just to maintain my weight. And so I was like, okay, well that's not good. Let's start tracking those again. So I've started tracking those. That's been good. I definitely have noticed how how I look in the mirror is a little different. So that's kind of fun, with the wedding coming up and all that. Hopefully I look good.
What
I assume I will.
what weight do you want to be at?
It's not about the weight as much. It's more about the body fat percentage. And so I do think I've gained muscle and lost fat, and I'm about the same weight. But I'm just more toned. I can see more veins and
Composition.
stuff in my arms. Yeah, exactly. Body recomposition. Yeah, so that's been fun. Mac has started working out with me in the mornings, which is good. Um, been enjoying that. We're getting up at whatever 4:30 and getting there at 5 and trying to get an hour in or so before we head out for a day. So that's been fun. Have a gym buddy again. It's been about a year that I was lifting by myself. So um, just different, right? Like having
Yeah.
somebody else that's like, oh, I want to do this today. It's like, sure, we could do that. Or they have a different idea that's more fun or something
Does
something
it?
that I don't normally do.
I know that you were right. I'm sure you had your routine down by that time, and 4:30 wasn't that hard of a wake up for you anymore. I don't say that hard, but like you got in that routine. Is it easier with Mac having someone there with you, or are you like, I've got to wake this kid up? Like how does that relationship go with getting to the gym?
It's different. No, I don't have to. We actually drive separate because he goes straight to work after, and I come back to shower. He just showers at the gym. So we drive separate. It's not like I'm ever waiting on him. He gets up.
Yeah.
We both meet there. But really waking up is the hard part. But once I go to the gym and all that, it's pretty easy. And like I actually find myself having more energy throughout the day. Like
Yeah.
sometimes I'll not really that often, but a few months ago, I think I skipped one day. Like it was just like a Wednesday, and I normally lift 4 to 5 times a week, and so it was like, oh, I already did 4 days. I'll skip a day, and I went to work and I was just groggy and tired, and I was like, it's interesting that I slept more, but I'm actually more tired throughout the day. So ever since I made that realization, I'm like, it doesn't matter how tired I am when I wake up at 4:30. I know it'll create more energy later in my day. So
Yeah.
um, I think that's made it easy for me to continue to wake up at that time. And obviously my body's getting used to it as well. It's like Alyssa and I try to get in bed at like by 9. Right? We're
Yeah.
old people now. So it's been different. Uh, but it's been fun. I've really enjoyed it. And go ahead.
My job starts at, I have to be at work at 5:45 because I work East Coast hours, and I love it. Does my alarm wakes me up like 4:45 to get showered and ready and get there. And yeah, I kind of like that. I don't work. I mean, obviously I'd like to work out before work, but I'm not gonna wake up at 3 to do that. But I do find myself, like I swam today, like right after work, right straight from work to the pool, swam, still have water in my ears, and then come back, and then yeah, like you feel like you've done everything in the day that you can kind of relax. And then yeah, but I will say that 9 o'clock rolls around and I'm like, I need to get horizontal immediately. And it makes everyday life kind of so much easier to me at least, when you get on that kind of cycle. But then and I'm shooting myself in the foot, but there'll be times where like I have friends coming in town this weekend, and we're going to the waste management. So we're going to be up late. And I just know 9 o'clock's going to hit on Friday or Saturday. And I'm going to be like, I need to be horizontal. And it's like, we're not going to be horizontal. We're going to be up, sitting on our feet, dancing for like the next couple hours. And I'm like, I'm not ready for that. I'm not ready for that. Nor am I ready to come back and go back to work on that next Monday. But yeah, I enjoy it. And that was something I kind of look forward to with this job, is like, hey, early hours. And I was like, that's fine. I've never really had an issue waking up. So yeah, it's cool to hear. But yeah, I do feel the old person in me of like, I've got to get into bed right now.
It's kind of awesome. I love
It
it.
is.
You mentioned you swam. You also, back when we did the Ironman, you said that's something you wanted to continue doing. Is that something you've continued doing, or just swimming?
I really, really enjoy swimming. I haven't biked at all since freaking January of whatever, or December, whatever. But and I've really been slacking my running. But I swim a lot. I swim 3 to 4 times a week. I try to get to the pool again, like right after work. I get there. and I try to beat the kids coming out of school to the pool, because it's obviously 70-something degrees and 80 degrees here, especially as time warms up. Like they're gonna want to go to the pool. So I try to get there and get as many laps in. I still don't have really a program for that. I have like hey, I'm gonna swim for 30 minutes, and every time I stop, I'm gonna add 4 minutes to my swim time. And I enjoy it. I think I see myself running more, and I told myself I need to do a sprint, like a personal sprint on my birthday. And I'm really bummed that I didn't do the opportunity. I mean, I still can do it, and you're gonna hold me accountable to this, but like I'd like to. I'm turning 26.
Why do you say that like you're mad that I'm holding you accountable?
Because I don't even want to say what's coming out of my mouth, but like 26 would have been a great time, like a great birthday to run a marathon, 26 miles in your 26th birthday. But I'm like, nah, let me just run a sprint triathlon instead. Maybe I'll do that for 27 instead, but or the 27 miles and 27. But yeah, so like I really enjoy swimming, and I think that's obviously the leg that I enjoy the most. I should run more. I ran like 3 or 4 days ago, and I was supposed to run like 3 miles, and I ran like a mile because my hamstrings were just like humming. They were like, hey man, we're not equipped for this. We're so tight that like this is not going to end well. So I did 1 mile instead. I listened to my body. No, I wasn't trying to quit. But yeah, I really just enjoy the pool. I enjoy being in the water. It's 70 degrees, 80 degrees here. So like I'm trying to get a tan as well for your wedding. Like kind of makes more sense. So I enjoy swimming. I've always done it. I don't say I've always done it, but I enjoy it. I like doing it. I will continue to do it. And I will eventually, as time ramps up towards my birthday, I'll probably start running and biking like a little bit more like specifically and purposefully.
Nice, man. That'll be cool. Looking forward to seeing your time.
I know. I'm so excited. But no,
that's good.
Yeah.
That's good. Speaking of, what we did back in January, we also said that we were going to start reading books. Have you started reading any books? Have you completed any yet?
Started. I obviously finished. Before we get into the book thing, I do have an update. I also 2026, we're gonna make 100 birdies. That's gonna happen. I'm putting it into existence. I'm gonna try. I have an update before we get into the books. I made 4 birdies this month. Now, before everyone freaks out, like
you're on pace.
Like, no, I'm not.
For 48.
I know I need to make like 8 or 9 birdies a month. And I played 1 time and I made 4 birdies. Now, if you think about the grand scheme of things, 4 birdies in 1 round is pretty good. It was piss raining, like raining cats and dogs. And I made 4 birdies, which is really good. I probably should have made 5 or 6.
Happy Gilmore in it? Or what is the movie? No. Groundhog with the groundhogs.
Caddyshack.
Yeah, Caddyshack. That dude's having the day of his life when it's pouring rain.
Well, sorry, I wasn't having a day of my life for birdies, but I had a college buddy come in town. We always had, I was like, hey, he's coming down in town to play golf in Minnesota. So I took him out, and it rained for the first like 7 holes pretty hard. And we were both like, hey, I don't know if we want to keep doing this, but we both are playing so good. And we had money in the line. We're like, we'll just keep going. It ended up being a nice day after that. But I made 4 birdies, and I'm really just 1 round away from hitting my quota, somewhat close to my quota. I don't know how many birdies I'm going to have in my next round, but I knew the first 2 months were going to be tough because it's super busy here for the golf season, and I don't have time to play. It's expensive. So, and the days are shorter, but the days are getting longer, and there's only more time, especially now that I have a job and I get out of that job relatively early, being East Coast hours. So I'm not super worried. If anything, I'm more impressed that I had 4 birdies in 1 round in the piss rain. Like that's pretty good. So I wanted to update you with that, and I don't have any videos of content because it was raining and I didn't want my phone to stop working. So that's that. Book wise, I chose an extremely short book because I knew I was going to be busy. But I read The Go-Giver, and it's an extremely good book. I was recommended it a while ago, and it's a little bit of a business book, but I think at the same time it's just like a fun quick book. It's a bunch of little short stories, and it really just talks about being nice and giving. And There's a lot of karma in it, and I think there's a good. The thing I took from it is even when you feel like you don't need to give or you shouldn't give or whatever, right? Like there's moments in everyone's lives where it's like, hey, like I need to be a little selfish here and I want this for me. It just kind of reminds you of like, hey, whatever you put out there, it does come back around. And that's kind of what I took from it, especially with like going into sales. Like I want as many sales as I possibly can. And even in where there's a very short story of like trying to hit a quota, and your natural reaction is like, I need to keep all this to me so I can get those things. And it does the opposite. So I say, you know, do what you can, help other people, and it comes back to you. So, and tenfold, especially at a young point in our lives, the do you good now might come back to you in 5. It might come back to you, you know, within a year, but it could come down like 5, 10, 15, 20 years down the road. So, just a great little book. I know everyone's gonna laugh at me how short it was, whatever, but just a great reminder and fun way to be like, hey, just be nice, and if someone gives you something nice or someone gives you a nice compliment, give it right back. You know, exchange kindness for kindness. You know, never take kindness and just hold it to yourself. So it's great.
Yeah, that's a good one. And no need to clown on the small book. I mean,
Yeah,
size doesn't matter, man. It's the content. It's the content that matters.
Exactly.
No,
Exactly.
that's good. You're totally right. You know, we're at a stage where if we give now, we're only going to get more. Hopefully, we're more well off, and you know, continue to give each other more things. And yeah, that's a good thing to go by. The book I read a book also definitely more of a business book.
Did you read it or did you listen to it?
I listened to it. All mine will likely be listening to.
Yeah.
I try to do it at work. Actually, Alyssa and I started reading our book too. So maybe I'll add that to one of these. Maybe for next month.
Needs to be the parameter of the month, kids. I feel like you can't start it in January and then finish
Why?
it in
You said we're finishing the book
that's fine. That's
for
fine.
the year, right? It's I don't know. I'll listen to a different book as well. We'll see. We'll see. I'll add it to the book report though. I read a book it's called 0 to 1, and it's essentially it is a business book. It's about people who want to create a business, or more the process of taking an idea that is not out yet and being the first to create it. And with that comes, you know, you're now the best person that does that. There's no competition. And basically the author of the book says that like competition seems like a good idea. Like all the businesses out there are like, oh, we love competition. We thrive for it. It's all good. But in reality, the author thinks that competition is actually negative. You know, you're going to be more focused on beating that other person than you are at just solving the problem, or you know, you're more fighting a battle than just putting all your effort towards that avenue. And so they gave the example of there's companies out there that do really well. Think Google. Like they essentially people say Google it for a reason, right? Like there's nobody that there's Bing, there's all these other things, but Google is the best far and away. Like they are the number one search engine out there. And he says that people with like monopolies like that will pull themselves back and try to group themselves with others so that don't look like a monopoly. So, you know, they'll say, oh no, we're like a tech company, you know, we're in the pool with Apple, we create phones, we're doing this and that, and really 90% of their money is coming from their monopoly, or the thing that they invented first or do the best. So definitely an interesting read. It's less action taking, at least for me in the point of my life currently. There's not necessarily a whole lot I can take action right now. At least I don't have an idea for it, but it's more of a way to think and look at the world. And like I had a conversation with Abe today with, you know, how can we not just be another podcast? How can we create something that is something, you know, that is how did I say it, Abe? Something that we want to present that is us and essentially just us, and we don't want it to be a knockoff of someone else's thing. So um,
Yeah, I think what stuck with me in that conversation was, hey, there's millions of podcasts, right? But there's only one or two podcasts talking about like that one thing or this thing or that thing. So I think that's where, I don't know where success comes from, but like I think that's where that one person's success comes from, is that it's, very specific about a certain thing, right? And someone can relate to it, or someone can compare that to something. So yeah, it was a great thought. I mean, we talked for 30 minutes before this podcast, and probably should have. I remember that conversation started with, "Hey, do we want to save this for the pod?" It's like, no, I want to talk about this idea. I said the pod, and that equated to, "Hey, we should probably talk about that in the pod." But nonetheless, I think it's great. What a great first book to certainly get your engine, that little hamster in your head turning around and being like, "Hey, like, this would be a fun thing to kind of think about for the next 12 months, hopefully, right? Or however long it sticks with you." But not to be shoving books down your way. And again, I'm not going to claim that I've read a lot of books. The whole point of doing this is to read more books, because I've read enough. But have you read "Let My People Go Surfing" by I don't know how to pronounce his name, but it's the owner of
I have
Patagonia.
not. I have
Okay.
not. I know you recommended that one a year or two ago.
He says something similar, where it's just like, his son was struggling to find purpose in life, and he was just like, "Son, like, what do you like to do?" And he goes, "I really like to surf." And he's like, "I really like to surf, and I really like, the idea of creating surfboards." He's like, "Great, go do that. Go build surfboards, do what you want to do, and then go be the best at it, and everything else will take care of itself." And he did. I mean, he's a now well-established surfboard maker, and that was the advice that he got from his dad, right? And his dad is the owner of Patagonia, like a pretty successful company. So yeah, very, very, tying to that. And yeah, I just think that's great advice.
Yeah. Yes and no with that, but
yes and no. Yes and no.
It's a good read. I wouldn't say it hit me as hard as some other books I've read lately that are, I feel, a little more actionable for me in this current state. I lean towards things I can act upon in the current state, but it's, this is more of a long-term one, like something to keep in the back of my head as I navigate through life and build things, or create things. And I'd say it's worth a read, especially if you're aspiring to build a business or build something. Definitely worth reading.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
That being said, I know you said that you haven't found your book yet for February. I also haven't. So if anyone has any book recommendations, please send them in the chat or in the comments, because we might be in the same position, at least a couple more months out of this year. But nonetheless, I'm sure I'll find one of the many books that I've bought that I had every intention of reading in my closet. So
definitely.
I think I'll be fine for this month.
I do have one. I'm on hold for it, so I'm really hoping I get it, and I think you would be really interested in it as well. So that might be bad to both read the same book, but it's The Jungle Keepers, or The Jungle Keeper. I forgot his name, but he's on the Joe Rogan. He's the dude that goes out in the Amazon.
Yeah.
Paul something.
Paul Rosalie.
Paul Rosalie, that's it. But yeah, he just dropped his book, so I'm definitely looking to read that one whenever my hold gets.
Did you listen to I think he just did a most recent.
Oh yeah, podcast. He did. He did to kind of premiere the book. Yeah.
Okay.
Dude, that dude's awesome.
Still have to listen to that. That's awesome. But looking into February, man, I think this is like the calm before the storm, with a little bit of storm inside of it. I got, this week I've got friends coming in town for this weekend. February's a short month, and so I'm excited to hang out with them. Haven't seen them in a long, long time. And then really just gearing up for, like, I hate to say it, but like kind of gearing up for like the next string of stuff that's going on between March, April, and May. And so in June. But nonetheless, I know that I'll find, that's the beauty about me being back in town. I've just been finding stuff to do week in and week out with CJ or Alec or whoever's down here, right? And so I do have some stuff planned, but at the same time, dude, I'm enjoying the weather. not ashamed to say I've been tanning, like trying to get as much sun as possible. Which I don't know if anyone's heard, but Atlanta was hit by that storm, icy, cold. Boy, did I pick a good time to move out there, because I've enjoyed the winter time here and it's been a blast.
Good, man. Yeah, and for February for me, not a whole lot planned. This weekend the Super Bowl, city might burn. I don't know. So we'll see. Yeah, I don't know. Not a whole lot planned. We got Valentine's Day, but Alyssa could be out of town for that. She just had a friend pass away, sadly. So they just decided that the funeral will be on Valentine's Day. So she might be out of town for that. But, obviously that's something I want her to go do and experience that. And so we can always celebrate Valentine's a different day. But yeah, that's about it for now. Do you have anything else to add before I say one more story?
No, go ahead and say one more story, man.
All right. Just to close it out, little light-hearted interaction that I had going to Mexico. I was in the bathroom. I was going pee, and behind me, I hear a dad and his kid in the stall, and just minding my own business. But the kid, loud enough for me to hear, goes, "Wow, Dad, you have a huge penis." And obviously, I'm just crackling, like laughing to myself. And the dad responds, but I can't hear it because the dad is obviously trying to be more chill than the kid. And the kid's like, "There is so much pee coming out of your penis. You should get a smaller one like me." And I just couldn't help myself but burst out laughing. And what an interesting moment in the urinal. That's really all I had. Just what a time for the dad. Do you think he high-fived the kid after saying that, or what?
I think this is hard. This is a hard story to reference stuff, but like
we don't have to, dude. Just in on that.
Kids are so fun. Like kids say whatever is on their mind, and I can't wait from the moment where kids say, on my kids specifically say unhinged stuff, and I just have to I have to not like laugh, because my laughter is going to make everyone else laugh, and it might be an inappropriate setting or whatever. But I'm not wishing anything in the future. But oh god, how funny is that? And I can't. It reminds me of that video of a kid. I'm sorry I'm going on a tangent, but and if you want to end it, but it reminds me of the story or a video of these, like I imagine the dad and the kid's like maybe like 2, 1, 2, probably 2. He's saying stuff. I don't know how old kids are when they say stuff, but it's like a dad and like his brothers, and they're at dinner, and they took the kid to the golf course with them. And again, the kid's in a booster seat, and he's just saying the F-bomb because he hung out with his dad and his uncles all day in the golf course. And of course, that's what happens in the golf course. And the kid's just nailing context. The mom's trying to cover his mouth. The dads are laughing. The mom's like, trying to keep everything under control. And that would be me. I would be laughing my butt off. Like, the kid is nailing the context here. And I'm not a parent yet, so I don't have to handle it the proper way. I don't know what the proper way is, but I would be laughing. I'd be one of the brothers who's like, hell yeah, my little nephew's nailing context in the F word at dinner time in a restaurant around a bunch of people.
It's something we don't have to deal with yet, but yeah, it'll be a tough day when I have to turn away a good laugh. You don't want them repeating that, but it's like they're only young once. Yeah, man. Well, that's really all we have. Good to catch up with you, Abe. Thank you, everybody, for listening. Look forward to seeing you next time. you.